You're live.
Hello, everybody. Happy Monday, and welcome to TMSM Weekly Live. You will see that things look a little bit different this evening. Scott will be taking your questions from behind the camera, and we have our travel partner, Becky from MEI, Host Fan Travel, with us, and the co-host C.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. I am so excited about I am so excited about this because A, I haven't seen you in forever, and B, it's nice to be out of house arrest that I feel like I've been on for 429 days now. I was counting when I finally got on the plane. But it's great to be back. It's great to see you guys in person.
It's great to see
you. It's my first time on the show with you, so it's even more exciting.
Now, this is the same Becky that answers your questions in the comment section usually, but she's answering from her home state of Washington.
Yeah, right outside the Seattle area. So a long way away from here and 3 hours behind. So like I was telling you, the time change freaks me out every once in a while because it's 4 o'clock. Yeah, sure, I'll be there at 4 o'clock. Wait, no, 7. Got it.
7 Eastern time. I always forget that too about the time difference. Like I'll say, oh, don't forget to watch us at 7. And I'm like, oh shoot, yeah. I'm really bad about that. I'm sorry. I always think because we live 10 minutes from Disney that people just assume it's Disney time.
It's its own time zone. Just as long as you're on Disney property, there's no calories and there's no time zone. You're all in the same place, right?
I really like that philosophy. The calorie thing for sure.
I wish I could really live up to that because,
So, but you know what though, as far as calories go, my whole thing is that you burn them off as you're walking. So like if you're eating a citrus swirl and walking, or you're gonna scarf it down really quick and you're gonna go across the park and get on a ride, you burn that.
So it justifies it. Basically, you are an enabler of anything sweet because you need to walk across the park.
Exactly. Exactly. There's always justification where Disney is concerned. So you guys will see that I do not have my notebook in front of me of different pointers and things, and that is because, well, one, I forgot it, and two, there's so many things that you guys have been asking me about as far as all the different happenings going on with Disney, with Disneyland opening, and then the Disney Wish and all that fun information that had come out. So I thought what we're going to do is Becky and I will just talk about the updates and things, and then Scott is watching the comment section behind the camera. So if you guys have specific questions that you would like answered, whether it be travel related, if something about the cruise, something about the parks, whatever you need a little bit of clarification on, we have the expert here with us tonight. So we are going to do our best to answer your questions as well.
And there's a lot to talk about because travel right now is a bouncing ball. What you think you may know today is going to change tomorrow, thanks to this wonderful thing called COVID. And I'm noticing that now that I'm in the parks for Walt Disney World, it seems a lot closer to normal than anywhere else that I have been or that we plan to go, because California has its own rules, regulations. Disney Cruise Line is still not sailing yet, except for the UK, and there's a lot of things happening in the US about that as well. So questions that come up about it, I'm happy to clarify because it really has been a challenge to keep track of where everything is. The latest CDC news that just came out is confusing because it's been a while. They had their, you want me to explain that a little bit?
You go right ahead, because I would rather them hear it from you, and because sometimes I don't get it all right. You go right
Don't
ahead.
Feel bad because the moment you think you got it, it's completely changed. So just last week, the CDC came out with what they were calling the guidelines to allow sailings to happen again. Everybody's been waiting for that since October of last year. So the cruise lines have been kind of chomping at the bit, waiting for all of these instructions and directions to allow them to sail from US ports. So they did finally come up with these new guidelines and gave them 2 different pathways. One pathway, which is the one of least resistance, which says you can sail from US ports if 98% of your crew and 95% of your guests are vaccinated. So pretty much that 5% between 95 and 100 was trying to make way for those kids that are under 12, figuring that vaccinations are going to be available for 12 and over, which just happened recently. So that's one path. They can also take a different path, because obviously that kid percentage is a little low for Disney, because you're going to have more than 5% of kids that are going to be under 12 usually. So the second pathway that they've allowed is a little bit more resistance, but a little more hoops to go through. There is a guideline for vaccinations, but what they're asking the cruise lines to do is each ship has to do test sailings. And in those test sailings, they have to go anywhere between 2 nights and 7 nights. They have to stop at a port and show what it would be like if there was an outbreak on board, how they could contain it, and how would they get people home so they don't have a repeat of what happened at the very beginning of the pandemic.
Oh gosh.
So that's another direction. So you might hear these things about test sailings, and I know that there was a question earlier today about that in the feed. And basically, it's up to the cruise line of who they're going to allow to go on the test sailing. So it could be cast members for Disney. It could be staff. It could be just volunteers that they choose. It totally depends on what the cruise line wants to do, because clearly they are test sailings. So they're going to hopefully make things go wrong so they could fix it, so they can adjust and make sure that once they do have revenue passengers on board, that everything will go smoothly, and if there is a problem, they can handle it right away. And one of the important things to know about cruising in COVID, it's not that there's not going to be anybody who gets COVID on board, just like any other of the stomach problems that you hear, norovirus and other things that you hear on board cruises. It's not that 1 or 2 people might not come down with it or might come down with it. What they're trying to prove is that they can contain it so that there's not an outbreak. So if you hear the news and they say, oh my gosh, 5 people got COVID on a blank ship, don't freak out, because that's the media grabbing it and running with it. Each of the cruise lines have 78 points of things that they have to do on board to keep people safe.
Wow.
They've really gone above and beyond in the healthy sail panel to be able to address anything that might happen. And if somebody does test positive, they're going to nip it in the bud really fast. So we're just looking forward now to whatever cruise lines decide to take each path. So NCL, for example, they've decided 100% vaccinations in the short term. Again, this is in the short term, because as we're all getting vaccinated, please get vaccinated, and we get that herd immunity coming up for us, then hopefully by 2022, this will not be a problem.
Right.
And we can all go back.
2022, we're looking forward to the whales.
There's a whole nother conversation. So.
Right. So we wanted to talk about that, and I'm just kind of peeking out of the corner of my eye. We got a lot of questions so far, don't we, Scott?
Mm-hmm. Bring it on.
All over. So do you want to take questions from the audience?
Well, the first one that anybody asked, and I don't know if you would even know about this, but they asked, is there any rumors that APs being brought back to people who don't have them?
At this point, we have not heard specifically if there's going to, or when the APs are coming back. What I do know is in Disneyland, they have shut down the entire AP program, because in Disneyland, it's a little bit of a different animal than Walt Disney World. But they are creating a new annual pass program at Disneyland. So I have this feeling, because there's the Premier Pass that allows you to have Disneyland and Disney World.
Yeah.
I think that they may be waiting for Disneyland to come out with their program before they go forward with more APs or resales or new sales of APs. That's just my gut feeling. I know nothing officially.
The next one was any news on Alani?
Alani's doing really well.
Yeah.
Actually, it's open. They just restarted the luau as well. So there's nothing that stops you from going to Alani right now. There are some testing requirements that you have to do before you go to the Hawaiian Islands. But actually, that's one of the vacation destinations that we're selling the most at this point.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's like my bucket list of
You
places.
haven't been there yet?
No.
We have to add that to the list.
She won't fly.
It's that long flight.
Okay. No. You're doing it wrong.
What?
Because you fly from here to LA, you spend 3 days in Disneyland.
Oh.
Then you go LA to Aulani.
Yeah.
And then you do the same thing back. So it's a long flight.
I like that plan.
Yeah.
So much better than
Well,
what I
You
would
have your
I know.
Time to book.
I want to go. What else you got?
Well, another question, which I know the answer. Somebody asked about, can you get Amazon to ship to your resort? And yes, they will ship to your resort. So that is doable.
Amazon will ship. I see questions about the Boo Bash.
Yeah, somebody asked about Boo Bash and if there's any. I haven't seen this. Any rumors about pricing for the Boo Bash yet? I don't think
Do you
anything's
know?
I haven't seen it yet myself, so.
No, and we could talk, since you brought up the Boo Bash, I thought we could talk about that for just a second, because I've had a lot of questions about it. People want to know if, it's replacing Mickey's Not So Scary this year, and yes, it is. A lot of people were confused as to if Not So Scary was coming back. And this year it is not. So what they have in place is the after-hours party called the Boo Bash, and it's similar to how they did the after-hours party before, like Villains After Hours and all that kind of stuff. So it is a separate ticket event. We don't know how much those tickets are as of yet, but it's going to be kind of like, it's going to have the cavalcades. It's going to have, you can wear a costume. You can, and they talked about candy. So I don't know if somebody asked me is there going to be trick-or-treating or are they going to hand out candy bags?
I was wondering that too.
Yeah. I don't know.
It wasn't very specific in the information that we received.
Right.
So I think that's going to be a wait and see how it's going to be doing it.
They're going to give you a big old bag of candy when you walk out. Here you go, full of Snickers and
Here's your flying gift.
Yeah, exactly.
They probably save on the people who go around 50 times and don't eat 9 bags. You get one on the way out.
Somebody like Scott Atwood who really gets forward to that trick-or-treating. I'm just saying.
Is he one of those?
He's, oh yeah.
Really?
If we're going to go to the party, we're going to get candy.
I'm paying for the party. I'm getting something back.
And then we end up having to throw away said candy by Christmas because we have too much candy. And then you go to the Christmas party, you just don't eat all the candy. Anyway, I digress. But you will be able to wear a costume. So you bring up food, and it's like, but speaking of food, they're going to have specialty food, of course, and merchandise. And I think it's going to be similar to what they did in the daytime, but it's going to be a nighttime thing.
Yeah.
And
I think it's
no
what,
fireworks.
9 p.m. to midnight, correct? I think that was the time period.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good answer for the outstanding question, because we still really don't know where we're going to be at that point. But I saw that it was going to start August, which is always, wait, what? Halloween in August? I can't do that quite yet, but all right, I get it. But I think not knowing where things are going to be, it's probably the best way that they can move forward without, keeping people safe still, keeping us moving forward. So hopefully next year we can return to normal.
Get back to normal. Yeah. And also, another question that somebody else had asked me, I'm trying to remember what people have asked me. When it comes to the Boo Bash, people are already assuming and hoping that this means we're going to get a little something at Christmas this year too.
Oh, I hope so. That's what I love, being here for Christmas just for that.
Oh,
just the little Christmas party, anything.
And the decorations on Main Street. I even missed last year the lights on the castle. I mean, there's just so much that Christmas, like you would think, oh, it's warm, it's Florida. It's like, no, but when you stand on Main Street with all the decorations and the tree and the music and the fake snow and all of it, it is magical. So it's Christmas. It's Christmas. So we're keeping our fingers crossed as well as far as Christmas, but there's been no announcements as of yet. But as soon as we hear something, we'll let you know. So, okay, I'm sorry, Scott, go ahead.
The next one was somebody asked, is there any rumors floating around with Fast Passes coming back? Which I don't think right now is a major priority because.
Well,
do you know something?
I don't know anything specifically, but I have heard more people talk about that possibility because, as you get into the summer, there's more people. The distancing in the lines makes the lines look longer. If they do want to move forward to expand the capacity, which is right now still at 35%, I believe. And remember, it's 35% of max capacity. So it's 35% of the day they shut down on Christmas when nobody else can get in. So you have to kind of think about that type of crowd for 35%. So if they want to increase the capacity, they're going to have to do something with the lines. So
yeah,
I'm thinking that they may have some sort of magic brewing to try to bring back some level of fast pass. Part of me thinks, and don't get mad at me here, part of me thinks and hopes, believe it or not, that they bring a version of Max Pass from Disneyland to Walt Disney World.
And Max Pass, for those that don't know, is?
It is again, don't get mad yet. Let's hear me out. You do have to buy the Max Pass. However, instead of having to just pick one e-ticket ride and two a B and an A ticket ride, and then hopefully you might get into one of the other e-ticket rides, it allows you to select passes as you are as you use one, you can select another, and use one, you can select another, and use one, you can select another. So you can possibly use more and get the fast pass benefit of the e-ticket rides in one day, which is beneficial. But the price also includes the photo pass. So you get all your pictures too. So instead of buying the big photo pass package on the side, it's actually included in Max Pass in Disneyland. So there's value to it as well. Will it look exactly like Disneyland's Max Pass? We're not sure, but I've heard a lot of talk that something like that may be coming.
And that seems pretty doable.
It would be great. Oh, believe me, I love Max Pass. If you've had anybody who's used it in Disneyland, that whole thing of, oh no, I have to pay for something, but it's, again, a lot of us don't mind paying if you get the value out of it. Yeah. And this is definitely one of those programs there.
And I think, speaking of value and such, in the past couple of weeks, Walt Disney World has allowed you to take your face mask off for photos. And just giving people that little bit of freedom has made everybody excited about the photo pass again.
Yes.
And I think that I really feel like because things have been so different for over a year now, any little bit of normal that Disney will give is a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And why would you pay for a big photo package with just masks on the entire time? So I'm glad that they did take that step. And then recently now we're seeing the CDC guidelines of moving things down from 6 feet to 3 feet, which hasn't happened at Disney World yet. It has happened over in Universal. They have started that. The temperature checks have gone away at Universal, not yet at Disney, but it's coming.
It's coming, yeah.
So we're seeing that forward progress. But anyway, back to the pass thing really quickly. Again, I know nothing, but that just seems to be the route that would be logical.
Okay. I hope that answered. I think we over-answered.
I do that.
But no, it's a good thing.
I never over-answer.
You know me, I could talk for hours, as they know, but all right. What else you got, Scott?
Somebody asked if we've heard anything for Disneyland with Halloween. I think they're too early.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's too early there. They don't know how they're handling it yet.
Because they were doing, before all of this, they had their Oogie Boogie Bash.
Yes,
and then
which
they
is so fun.
I wanted to go to that.
And the overlay out there that's amazing. I know. I don't even need to tell you about that.
It's again bucket list.
But with Disneyland right now, they're still California residents only still.
Yes.
So I don't think they're going to make any announcements yet until they at least open it up to outside of California.
Yeah, I know a lot of you are waiting for that announcement, and I am too. So we will see, because I know, again, just like with the cruising, a lot of people are really eager to get back to Disneyland. And it's weird how you miss things. I mean, like, yes, we get to go to Walt Disney World, which is wonderful, but then you still have that little bit of like longing to go to the other place too.
Absolutely, especially with Adventures Campus.
When
that is opening, I know.
I
whispered it because I don't know if he'd actually listen to me.
I can't be at the opening.
I know. Poor Scott.
My heart
is just
I know if I can find
He
somebody in
can't
California to
wait.
adopt me, I'll instantly
Someone
apply for
adopt
my,
you in California.
I'll apply for my citizenship. in
I
California.
always tell him we just never know, that things change all the time, and we're just gonna not be sad, and we're gonna be optimistic about
If
it.
you hear about a guy jumping the fences, that's me.
No, do not jump the
No,
fence.
please don't.
No, please don't do that.
You want to go back. You want to go back. That's an important thing. But then again, think about it though. They'll work out all the kinks.
Exactly.
All the people in California would have hopefully seen it. Well, the people going, right away.
Yeah.
So maybe it won't be as crazy when we get
They
there.
just better not buy all the merch. There's two Funko Pops exclusive to vendors can't.
Look at him, he knows
I
this
know.
already. He's already said, like when they made the announcement, he's like, I think I'm going to have to buy a separate suitcase because I'm going to want to buy all the merchandise. And I'm just like, okay, well, what can I say? I can't say anything because I like to buy souvenirs too.
You know how many shirts I get for
Kettle
one
black.
dude?
Got it.
I know, it's like I can totally be judgy, but it would not be
You know
be
how many
right.
how many T-shirts I can get for one Dooney and Burke price? There you go.
Oh,
That is how he justifies.
I don't. Okay. I'm not sure if we need a marriage counselor right now, or if I really want to be between for this conversation, because I can take either side really easily. I'll be over here.
That's what it'd be like, I might buy a bunch of Funkos, but you buy a purse. So it does balance out. So, okay.
Next, somebody had asked, I know they announced last week 3 more restaurants were opening at Walt Disney World that were previously closed. They want to know if you've heard anything about character dining come back, especially at breakfast,
Oh.
eventually. So,
I haven't. We haven't heard anything beyond what's already opened at this point. So I have a feeling though, once everything kind of lifts up a little bit, it's going to be like dominoes.
Yes.
The dining places will start opening, and character dining is a signature experience of being at Disney. So I know that they are very excited to try to inject the magic back as quickly as they can, as soon as it's safe. So like I said, the moment that they feel safe about it, we'll start seeing a lot of those open back up.
And buffets too, because like a part of the experience, you talk about character dining. Like we were just talking about it, that one of my favorites is 1900 Park Fair at the Grand Floridian, because the character interaction is so good there. Whether you go in the morning or you go at night, it's both good. And then the buffet itself is probably one of our favorite places to go because the food is wonderful, and I miss that. I mean, you miss those things, but like you said, hopefully once things get rolling again, it's just going to be. And there's
some different stages they can take with buffets, because the cruise lines are going to move from a buffet scenario to like a cafeteria style, where there'll be somebody that are serving you instead of you picking up the serving thing, the spoon, and somebody else picking it up. So they're going to go to that. Others are going to more of a family style situation. So I know that some of the character breakfasts have been, one of them actually is being served family style right now. So that could be something that they take small baby steps into bringing back a buffet.
I think if you did like the cafeteria style, it would kind of give people that similar feeling to being able to go and get your food and what you want specifically. Because there's something about that people like that. I'm going to go up there, and if I want, 8 cinnamon buns, I'm going to go up there and take 8 cinnamon buns, because the whole Disney calories don't count. And that's part of the experience.
But then again, I'd probably lose weight because I wouldn't want to ask for the cinnamon buns that I actually probably would have grabbed myself if it was at the buffet. So
it's easier to pick out on pastries when you're getting it yourself. If you have to go ask somebody for it, then I guess it's different. Maybe, unless you just have no shame, or you make somebody else go get it for you.
Shame.
Or I'll tell one of my kids, like, hey, go get me another ice cream.
So that's why you had kids. Got it. All right. So you can do all your dirty work
for sweets and things. So I'm sorry.
Okay. Next, any rumors on the Epcot monorail coming back yet?
I haven't heard that either at this point. I'm not sure what the work is that's entailed in doing that right now. So I haven't heard it, not even a rumor at this point. Sorry.
And then somebody said he knows it won't be this year, but he's wondering in 2022, once the borders start to open up, will Adventures by Disney start going to get? That was
Okay, and I'm excited. And anybody ever wants to know anything about Adventures by Disney, I can talk about that for hours. I've been on 16 of them.
Oh my gosh.
And that's basically for work because we do buyouts and take groups on the adventures. But then because they're so good, I actually do a lot of my personal vacations on Adventures by Disney. So that's kind of says one or two things because basically you have two guides that are taking care of you. And me being a type A personality vacation planner, it's hard to take a vacation with somebody else and trust them completely with all of the detail. But I do because it's fantastic. So the answer is yes. I do know that they are looking at opening as soon as the various countries also are working out when they're going to allow U.S. citizens to come back. They do have private adventures that they are currently doing in 5 locations. So you can still do that if you want to do the private adventures. We're hoping that we will see the U.S. itineraries open up really quickly. But I do know that I have a group in March of 22, and right now it's a go to Italy. So
ooh, wow.
I would say that if you are looking at an Adventures by Disney, 2022 is probably a pretty safe bet at this point.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
That was Adam. Who asked
Oh, was
that
Adam?
question. Yeah. That's right.
Hey, Adam.
Somebody else asked a question. I don't know if you would know. They're saying, do you think that Disney is trying to hit 100% capacity by October 1st for the 50th?
Oh.
That's a hard.
That's a really tough one.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, the state has said, the governor has said, it's up to Disney at this point.
Yeah, and it should be, in my opinion, because Disney needs to figure out from a liability standpoint. They have to be very careful because their #1 mandate is safety. And for them, for guests, for cast, for everybody involved. So I think that while they would love to have everybody or as many people in the parks as they possibly can, they're going to do it safely. So I guess it just depends on where our numbers are, what's happening in the science of all of the COVID fun, and let's cross our fingers and hope we're better by then.
I don't see it happening 100% by then. It just seems so soon. I think it's going to be more baby steps than that.
And I think that's why they're doing a year and a half of the celebration to give people more time to get back where you can't be at 100%. So I think that's a key that it probably won't be.
If we can have the pink castle for 18 months, I think we can have a 50th celebration for 18 months.
Right. And you know, the thing is too, maybe you guys want to keep in mind also, is that before all of this bad stuff had happened, like you were there too. You remember it's been a year ago, Christmas, we were at that media event and they talked about all the great things that were coming, you know, with Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and then, you know, the Guardians and Tron and all the overhaul at Epcot and all of these things that they had planned for the 50th, and then, you know, they got thrown a huge curveball like everyone else. So of course they want to be able to still, you know, get all those wonderful projects going too, but they have to be able to do it where, you know, it's safe and they can get enough people working on it. And, you know, because everybody was so excited about these projects.
Weren't we?
No.
When we were hearing
and D23,
when they were announcing all these things, we're going, oh my gosh, that's amazing, and I can't wait to do that. And now we're waiting.
So now we're waiting. Yeah.
Even Ratatouille. I mean, it sits there, and the Ratatouille thing, the arch that goes overhead, and you know it's right there, and it probably is ready for guests or close. But yet we are not going to be able to experience it until October 1st.
No, and a lot of people, there was a lot of, speaking of that ride, a lot of chatter back and forth about Ratatouille because when that same media event I was talking to you about, we got to go see it. Do you remember? We couldn't take pictures, but we could go in and we actually walked the floor of Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. And this is a year and a half ago, and it looked pretty darn good then. So, I mean, the outside was not done, but the inside. So I really think that they are ready to go. It's just a matter of timing. And maybe they are trying to give it a little more time because...
Well, I think, though, when you do a big opening like Ratatouille, you want to have a precedent. You want to show it off. You want to have a whole bunch of people there. And right now, they just can't gather people. There's no way to, even us trying to do group events, it's still social distanced, and you have families at different tables that are 6 feet apart from each other. So I think that they're holding on to it so they can really give it the opening it deserves.
And
have more people there and have a big splash about it and have us all there to cover it.
Like we did right before everything fell apart over at Hollywood Studios for Runaway Railway. That was a fun event.
That was the last time I was here. I left from Runaway Railway, and this is my first time back since that.
And that's when she told me, she goes, there's a lot of stuff happening worldwide, and be ready.
Yeah, we were all together,
Oh,
and remember we got off the
yes,
ride, and I
we were.
said, because I was on my phone, and I kind of apologized because we were all together, and I said, but there's something happening, and it looks like this virus is spreading, and little did we know.
Yeah.
Week and a
Little did
half
we know we wouldn't
later.
see you for over a year
Yeah.
after that.
And everything, like if you would have thought about, then what actually happened, you would have never guessed that. So I think that everybody has to roll with those punches, and I'm excited to see what actually does come out, because it's going to be good. So I'm excited for Guardians.
There's some things though, Guardians, but I will say the COVID did give us some things that I'm actually kind of happy about, and I hope stick around, like cavalcades.
Cavalcades are fun.
Excuse me, I have fallen in love with cavalcades because you just walk in and you're saying, okay, I'm gonna go to Haunted Mansion, and you're walking and all of a sudden the music starts up, and it's a surprise and delight, and it comes out of nowhere, and all of a sudden there's princesses and you have to stop and watch it. And so you're not going, okay, at 2 o'clock I have to make sure to go get my spot and sit on the corner and wait for an hour until the 3 o'clock parade. It really is so energizing and cool to know that there's a character's coming for you, and you don't know who it's going to be, and you just hear the music out of nowhere. And I hope they stay around. I'm not saying to replace the parade, but I'm just saying to also have them. I kind of like it.
Yeah, and some of us will actually walk around singing this different parade music as they go by. We were there yesterday.
I wonder who that would be.
And it's funny because what was it? It was the Get Your Ears On song that when Mickey does it.
Yeah, when Mickey's cavalcade.
And I may or may not know all of that whole song, and so when it plays, there's me dancing and singing, and it gives you that little bit. My kids look at me like, here she goes, because it was. But I did the same thing, with the 3 o'clock parade for Festival of Fantasy, which I really miss because just Festival of Fantasy was just so good. And everybody had their favorite sections, and then Mickey at the end. And I do hope they keep the cavalcades, but I hope that eventually we get our Festival of Fantasy back, because it is magical.
I think the cavalcades would be a good way to use those characters we don't see that often.
Oh, yes.
That would be awesome, because you're going to see, if they do bring back Festival of Fantasy, you're going to get those characters. But if we can have the cavalcades to bring out those characters we're not seeing on a regular basis, because you never know who it could be then.
Yeah.
It could be
You know what a perfect example of that is? At Halloween, they had the Nightmare Before Christmas cavalcade, and it had Jack and Sally and Oogie, and their own cavalcade, and you never see, Jack and Sally is the meet and greet that everybody waits in line forever for, but to see them coming down the parade route was really great. Yeah. So I think that's, like you were saying, that's a really good thing that they can use for special characters. I got excited. And I watched it, like, every time I knew, because you could hear the Nightmare music coming, and I'd be like, oh, stop. We don't have to watch it. Like, did we already see it? I'm like, I don't care. No,
see it again.
We're going to watch it again. And I take pictures of the same thing every time. So yes, I agree that I think that it would be good for special characters too.
That'd be awesome.
Okay, a couple people have asked, any word on fireworks coming back? I've never heard
nothing specific. However, I did hear somebody mention that there was a couple of job postings possibly for some pyrotechnicians. Oh. And I pay attention to that because I was one at one point. So I was looking at that and going, maybe I need to change careers. But no, I kind of like this travel thing. However, being a travel agent in COVID, not recommended. But hopefully that comes out to be true, and in the next few months we might see that again. Again, it's all about crowds. So the reason they took fireworks away is because it brings people all together in small spaces to watch the show. So hopefully we're moving towards being able to be all together in a crowd again.
And when you're at the parks and you know what's different and you know what they've changed, like you know, like yesterday, what my whole point was that when we were leaving lunch, we went to Tony's for Mother's Day like lunch, and there had only been 3 Dapper Dans up on the train station this whole time. There was 4. And he's like, look, there's the other Dapper Dan. And I mean, it's just something we would notice, you know, but it seems like they keep adding little bits of normal back in, and he noticed it right away.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, it could be nothing, but, and, you know, and they're doing the, like the soft opening they did for Festival of the Lion King, which I heard the only difference is there's no tumble monkeys and there's no flying bird, but everything else is pretty much the same.
No, the audience doesn't come in and help. Right.
Oh yeah, right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But see, but that is pretty darn close to how it was before. Yeah. And so I think that should make guests really happy.
Baby steps to
Yeah.
normal.
So it's getting there. Just
No.
be patient.
Okay. 2 people also asked any indication when Riverside French Quarter is going to be?
Oh, that's the $1 million question.
Yeah, that's a big one.
In our profession, obviously, we're trying to find accommodations for our guests and our clients. And the number 1 request is Port Orleans, and we've got nothing. We got nothing. We got no rumors. We have no indication. But it's something that they can do pretty quickly, because we also had a point where Boardwalk Inn was just like, and Boardwalk Inn is not, you know, has not announced the date it's going to open. And then one day it just said, this is the date that's going to open. So we're hoping that we'll see that. But you have to remember too, that if they're holding the capacity to 35%, they can't open the other resorts, because people would come stay at the resort, but they wouldn't be able to get in the park. So there is a correlation between opening the resorts and capacity. So as we start seeing capacity increase, then I think that's where we're going to see the other resorts.
And it's funny you said that, because the next question somebody asked, have you heard of any capacity increases? And they don't really announce.
No, well, I think they're going to, well, Disney doesn't tell us anything.
No, they don't. Usually it's fun.
In all honesty. But I think that we will definitely see, when another resort opens, I think that's going to tell us the capacity is increasing. They're not going to come out and say, yay, we're now going to be 50%, because especially in Florida, there's no reason to. Like in California, they do have mandates that they have to be 25%, and then at this point they can go 35%, and at this point they can go 50%. Not in Florida. So I don't think we're going to actually hear. It's going to be more about seeing resorts opening and the increase in people.
And Jeremy asked about the Boo Bash. He just joined us later. So if he goes back and watches it, they did talk about the Boo Bash already, Jeremy. Otherwise, I'll message you later and give him information. Okay, next. Any word on the trams? And I guess that would be another thing with capacity. There's no reason for them right now.
Right.
You don't park
We
far.
parked in preferred yesterday.
They put us in preferred yesterday because they only had like 2 rows of preferred, and we were like right up front, and it was nice. I mean, I will say that the little bit about that, you know, as far as the changes, is Magic Kingdom is always a bear to get in and out of, and it's been a lot easier. But you know, I always tell the kids, enjoy it while you can, because it's not going to be like this forever.
Well, it's kind of like I'm not opposed to social distancing. I kind of like my personal space, so I'm kind of enjoying it while we have it.
Yeah, because it's not going to stay around. And as far
for example, having a Skyliner bucket all to yourself.
Ooh, yes.
That's what I mean about I enjoy my personal space. Every time I'm traveling by myself, I've had the Skyliner bucket all to myself.
See, and I'd rather have the Skyliner bucket with just who I'm
your
with
family.
instead of, because then
I wish that would stay.
Then you can be kind of, you know, silly and take pictures and whatever, and you're not bothering anybody else.
Yeah,
so,
I'm with you.
All right.
If you're trying to videotape and somebody else is talking and you feel, hey, I'm trying to videotape.
Did you see?
I'm Facebook Live right now and you're ruining
I'm
it.
live on Facebook. No. Because usually that's me, because I don't know how to stop working, so I'm always like waiting for my shot or to record something. But there is something to say for that social distancing. I agree. So.
Okay, a few people have asked the question, have you heard anything about masks only being required indoors where you can wear them?
Oh.
I haven't heard anything.
Not yet. when the CDC came out with that recommendation that if you're outdoors, you don't have to wear a mask, they didn't mean if you're going to be in a crowd. What they meant was if you're out jogging, walking by yourself, walking with your family. So it really didn't pertain to or apply to theme parks at that point. So I did hear today that CDC or that Dr. Fauci was talking about re-looking at indoor mandates at this point. So I think it's just a matter of people getting vaccinated and that vaccination number going up, and maybe we can ditch these things for indoors as well.
And you know, a lot of times, you know, I do read the feedback, and you're in our group, so you read it too. And a lot of people are just, you know, it's hard in the heat when you're wearing a face mask. But you know what I'm telling people is right now, you know, we take the little bits that we're given as far as the photos, and Disney does have places where you can pull over and take a break, the relaxation stations, or when you're eating, you know, you're going to pull over to the side, and they've been pretty good about that. Like, you know, like we got that's it, just rolled yesterday. And you know, you pull over to the side and you do get that break if you're sitting and you're having a snack. So it's not like you are covered all the time. And there's always going in the stores where there's air conditioning or an air conditioned ride. So the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because a lot of people were concerned about coming to the parks in the heat of the summer.
Yeah, and I came from 62 degrees to 98 degrees. And yeah, it can be uncomfortable, but it's not so uncomfortable that I won't enjoy myself.
Exactly. Yeah. I just wanted people that haven't done it yet to know it is doable.
It is doable.
And Disney is still magical. And maybe you just need more treats, or maybe you just need more shopping.
And pick a white mask, not a black one, because it looks like there's a whole bunch of people running around looking like the Winter Soldier. But it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be my Halloween costume because it's working out so well that I'm just gonna be Winter Soldier. But it is doable. Again, it's keeping everybody safe. So hopefully we're gonna make those strides and those baby steps so that we can all ditch them soon.
Okay, so the last question I have as of right now is one I already know the answer to, but it asks, will Becky ever be a TMSM LOL?
Oh.
And we've talked about that. So
we've tried to work that out on a couple of occasions. Yeah.
I think you should be.
I think
you should be. Because we do have fun on our live on location shows. I mean, just a little bit of fun.
I've only been able to watch them from afar. So I am in the audience, the home audience when you do the show. So I would love to if we can work that out.
Definitely. And somebody else just asked a question. And actually, I'll read it because it's a longer question. Dana asked, she has a Haunted Mansion question. When she went September 2020 and February 2021, the Haunted Mansion ride seemed brutally dim. At Momentum Worries after, there was a huge group of people who were all saying that it seemed that way, disappointing. I think they fixed that since then, because we were on it yesterday. It was pretty lit up on the inside of the Haunted Mansion now. I thought that you could see a lot more, especially in the graveyard scene. You can see so much more now.
Graveyard scene seemed like they had really pumped up the glow.
There's a lot more black lights and such. And we noticed that because, you know, always trying to get pictures and stuff. And normally you couldn't, because the ghosts, you'd see them off in the background, but you couldn't see them. So there's actually more lights in the graveyard scene now to where you can actually see more of the ghosts, even the ones that are in the back, and even stuff being a Haunted Mansion fan that you might not have noticed before, because the lights are bigger, like just little things that, you know, you see your ghosts up front, but in the back there's stuff going on too. So yes, yes, you have to check that out because it's a bit exciting.
It was really, especially the four right before you get to the hitchhiking ghost, the four with the opera singer and the ones there, they are really lit up right now, and the one that's dancing in the side here in the kind of in the crypt. It's dancing the spirit that's there. You can really make them out a lot better now. So I think they've taken this downtime to kind of boost that up where you can actually see more.
Cool.
And also during the when they first started opening again, I way attention to detail. So at the end, you know, where they had, before you get to the hitchhiking ghost, there's the ghost there, and then there's the Viking, you know, this opera singer and all that.
Execution.
She was gone for a while. And it was like a big empty spot, but you could hear her singing. And I was like, that's weird to me because, you know, if you know the story of why she's there, right?
Well, do tell.
Well, I mean, it's probably not nice to say now, but they put her in there because of the old saying, it's not over till the fat lady sings.
Oh.
So she is the opera singer singing at the end, and that's why you hear her. It's like little old school Disney trivia, but you hear her singing at the end because the ride is over.
I learned something today.
However, she was singing and she was gone. So then
She has a ghost.
Yeah, I was like, well, where is she? So it bothered me because it's my favorite ride. So they put her back and she's singing and everything, and then the executioner was gone. And he's the big one with the big belly in the front. He's gone. And you could see a big empty spot. So I think that they were taking some of that time to like revamp maybe some of the things that they needed. So they really are. I went way over with information, but they really seem to have made the Haunted Mansion better. And out in Disneyland, which I want to go to, but they added some things at the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland too.
That's what I hear. I'm attempting not to look at all of those details. I want to see it. Yes. I want to be surprised. I only know about one of the portraits, and then I stopped reading at that point. So I'm like, you know what? I just want to, when I go back, I'm going to experience it and see the new, and
find it for yourself.
Yeah.
So you're like that too then? Like I know that there's video online, because you can find video for just about everything, of the different attractions and things. Let's use Tron as an example. I don't want to see what Tron looks like because I want to experience it.
So the perfect example of that was when I went to all the Asian parks in one trip, and all of the attractions that exist only there, but not here. I refused to look at anything on YouTube because I wanted to experience. I wanted to have that feeling again when you walk in for the first time and you get that awe and the little pit in your stomach that something's exciting. I didn't want to see it through somebody else's eyes. I wanted to experience it through my own. So I always tell people, even the stuff that we cover, don't listen to us if you want to, but don't if you don't. Just experience it for yourself. Don't watch YouTube.
I always say watch it afterwards because you might see something maybe you missed.
Yeah.
So because I know a lot of times Disney puts you where they want you to look.
Exactly.
And I'm one that always looks around to things I'm not supposed to be looking at, especially on the Haunted Mansion. I do that often.
But like for an example of that would be too is when Rise of the Resistance debuted. I put the ride through, but I put at the very top, spoiler warning, do not watch if you don't want to know, because, or when Pandora debuted, I had people that didn't want to see what it looked like in the new land. It's like, you have to be so careful. And I don't like to ruin anything for anybody because I'm like that. I don't want to, I'm really looking forward to Tron. Wrote it in Asia, and is it super fun? It is super fun. It is super fun. And it's unlike anything else that Disney has right now. So it's really a fun experience. And at night, wait till night. Ooh. And it's one of those things where some rides are better at nighttime than daytime. Yes. Tron is better at night. Oh, absolutely. Okay, what else you got, Edwin?
Okay, next one. Do you think park hopping is worth it?
That's a fantastic question, because for some people who want to spend the entire day in one park, it might not be. It depends on your family and how you want to tour the parks. Others would like to go to Magic Kingdom in the daytime, but yet the dining reservations that they really want are in Epcot. So that makes park hopping obviously a good idea. Others may want that flexibility where you might not want to be in Animal Kingdom on the day that it is completely raining like mad. Yes. Or it's going to be 102 degrees with 150% humidity. You may not want to be in Animal Kingdom, so you may want to do that in the morning and then hop over to another location. So I think that really is a question to be answered by the individual and how you prefer to tour.
Very good. And Jody is on, and she agrees with both of you that Tron is agrees with you that Tron is the attraction. So
I'm so
it's okay, now we're gonna have to write together because
oh my gosh,
I want to hear you giggle.
I will giggle the whole time. I will giggle and laugh the whole time. I will because
I'm so glad that they're bringing it here. It's going to be one of those things that you have to do and then do again and do again. And do again.
Yeah.
And I'm sure sitting in different areas on it.
Yeah.
different
Yeah,
experience
you've got some
also.
different experiences as well.
So yesterday, as you know, the People Mover is back functioning now.
That was the first ride I went on when I went into the Magic Kingdom. I'm so excited.
It is our must-do. We love it and we've missed it. And that's what, like, sometimes, you know, my boys are like, well, how long is the wait for this and that? They wanted to go to People Mover because they missed it too. And part of the reason that I wanted to ride it, not just because I missed it, but I wanted to get a good look at the Tron construction because you can see it so well from up there. And I was just, we all like were hanging over it, looking at it because it has, I mean, they have continuously made progress on Tron this whole time, and you can see it, but from the People Mover, you can really see, you know, the dome and the track, and it is just outstanding. And to see it from the People Mover made me even more excited. I mean, well, the People Mover too. It was nice to have it back.
Yes.
I've
missed it, but I didn't know it stopped. It's like when I got back, it's
that's
running
right,
again. So
right.
that was. I was asked what attraction I was going to ride the first time I walked back onto property, and I said I'm going to Magic Kingdom, and I'm riding the People Mover, and that's exactly what I did. It was like returning home. It was awesome.
And it's great to be able to get good pictures up there. You get some breeze up there.
Yes. And you get to just see everybody enjoying the park. That's what I love. I love looking down and watching people just, you know, move around the park, enjoying the things in all those different locations.
Yes.
So you can look down, you can see the cars driving around, and then you come around that corner. Because when I left last time I was here, Tron was just like the building, and they have the stuff still up.
Oh wow!
So when I came around the corner from People Mover and I saw that, there was a squeal. It was a very loud, high-pitched squeal. It is
really
exciting.
It's really exciting. I'm sorry. I'm excited just thinking about it. All right. Anyway, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
Next.
Somebody asked about the changing of the Nemo show. Have you heard anything about that? They said maybe Jungle Book or Tarzan Book, but they don't know.
No, haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard anything about that.
No, not even a rumor.
And then another show they're asking about is Fantasmic.
Oh yeah.
And I think that again is a capacity thing. Even though it's a show though where they could space you in the theater, but people can't move.
Yeah, you got to remember how much money it takes to put on Fantasmic. Yeah. So every character is a lot of money, and if you could only put 50% in there, is that really worth it? So I think that they're being very strategic about how they're bringing people back. And again, their number one thing is safety, so they're going to keep that in mind for everybody.
And one more question, I want to make sure we got this one in there. Scott was asking, wondering with ESPN Sports Complex, what resorts are near there? He's going to be at the Special Olympic Games in 2022. And he wants to know what's closest to ESPN.
What resorts are closest?
ESPN's the complex.
Yeah, the complex. So it would be the closest. It'd probably be what, Art of
Animation or Caribbean Beach.
Yeah.
Or if you're looking at, I fall in love with Riviera.
Oh, I know.
I can't help myself. So if you want a deluxe resort, probably the Riviera, Caribbean Beach, Art of Animation. Yeah.
And that's all on the Skyliner track too, so that
Yeah.
it's easy if you want to go to the studios or if you just want to go take a ride on the Skyliner, which I love the Skyliner.
I know, I'm addicted to the darn Skyliner. It's an attraction all in itself.
It is.
So
I always tell people that I feel like Mary Poppins for a minute.
we need to also talk about
You do need to talk about the Wish.
Okay, let's stop questions so that we
that
can.
was all my hat so far.
Did we get everything?
We got everything that I've seen pop up, so I guess we're good.
I think we've done pretty darn good with all those questions.
I know. Not bad.
I know, right? Even with my sidebars, because every time I do a show, we do a sidebar.
Well, that works for me. Going to the cruises really quick before we get to this. Just remember, as they do start doing these test cruises, and whichever path or direction that they take, they're not going to be able to roll out. It's not going to be like, we're not cruising today and tomorrow all the ships are sailing. It's going to be a slow rollout. They're going to have to restaff the ships. They're going to have to figure out what capacity they're going to be at. There's a lot of things that go on. So even if you start hearing that one is test sailing, it's going to be a few weeks and or months to get all the ships back up and running again. And then we have this little beauty. I'm excited and I'm scared all at the same time. In my career, I've lived through 3 ships that have announced and launched when bookings start happening. And we got the great news that we're going to start being able to book beginning for the general public in May 27th. But for those of you lucky platinum people, if you have 25 or more sailings under your belt, you're going to be able to start booking on May 17th. If you have 15 or more, it's May 18th. 10 or more, or yeah, 15, no, sorry, 20, 25, 20, 15, and 10. So each day is going to roll for 24 hours. The reason they decided to do that is, of course, that it's very popular, and they didn't want all the platinums calling in on one day trying to get the space that's available, especially they know that it's going to be very popular for the maiden voyage, which is on June 9th. That's a 5-day sailing, and then after that, they're going to be doing a series of 3 and 4-day sailings.
Okay.
They've only released through the end of, or will release through the end of August, so we don't know what they're going to do for fall. Don't know if it's going to be 7-day afterwards, or if they're just going to keep doing this 3 and 7, which a lot of people are asking to do back to back, which works too to make your 7-day sailing.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. But what I highly recommend is if you are interested in the Wish at all, there's 2 strategies. The first one is if you want to do it in this first pass, work with a travel planner who can help you, who can make sure to call in. And the first 2 or 3 dates, no online bookings will be available. It's only available by calling in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So if you have been through anything with the call center at Disney recently, be prepared to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner delivered to your home, have 4 phone lines going, and 3 or 4 different VIOPs, because it's inevitable that unfortunately one of your line will drop after you've held for 6 hours, because
and then you'll cry.
which we have. But the one thing with working with a vacation planner like us is that we're all working together.
Yeah.
So if all of a sudden I have 3 lines going, I'm able to get through, but you're trying to call in and your line drops, you message me, I grab your stateroom for you. So that's one of the strategies. The second one is to wait until the fall releases. But the lowest price you're going to get on any Disney cruise is when it releases, because as the ship fills, the prices go up.
Okay.
So if it has been out and for sale for several months, your price is probably going to be 30% higher, or can be anywhere from 10 to 30% higher than the first day that it released.
So plan in advance.
Definitely plan in advance. Now the great thing is, put the maiden voyage over here for a minute, because this does not apply. But if you think you want to go ahead and place your deposit, because unless you're doing a suite or the maiden, it's fully refundable.
Oh, yeah.
You can move it before final payment, but at least you can secure the space. Maiden voyages, unfortunately, once you put the money down, you're in. It's non-refundable. Because they know that it's going to be so popular.
Oh, of course.
It's going to sell out like that. So there's a lot of rules and regulations. If you want the maiden voyage, you can't use an FCC. So if you do have a credit hanging out there, you're not going to be able to apply it for that voyage either. So just make sure that you're checking into all the rules and regulations before you put your money down.
Or you can contact Mouseband Travel and they will do it for you. There's links all over our site to find that key.
Click the link on their site. You can put in a request now and we'll put you on our list. So we can call in, we can grab what you need and put a courtesy hold on it. Just be sure to give us your phone number so we can call you and say, hey, by the way, we have a courtesy hold that's holding for 4 hours. We need for you to decide if you want to do it now or not.
And another good thing about using their services is that if there are any specials that come up, if there's anything that they can do to save you time, money, whichever, it is in their hands, and you don't have to worry about that, because that's what you what you do.
Yes.
You keep your eye on all the specials and all the happenings so that you don't have to worry about it, and you can just go and enjoy your vacation without having to worry about all the different things.
Yeah. And for us, we're fee-free. We don't charge you a penny. So you're going to get the same price or lower because we're watching for the specials. And another little thing that I get to tell people about, which is really cool, which I really enjoy and I'm so happy about. Any of the cruise lines that we book, we have a proprietary technology. We have your reservation in our system that it goes out and it looks at the cruise line systems. And if the price goes down, it automatically notifies us so that we can call in immediately and apply your savings.
That's good to know.
No, so that you don't have to keep checking and call us. You don't have to worry if it's done or not. We do it for you.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, one of our regular watchers is hoping that we will all have a cruise get together in 2023.
What a great idea!
That's an awesome idea.
We may or may not be talking about that after the show.
We were talking about that before COVID.
I know. We were that close.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the reasons you were in town during the Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, that she was talking to.
And weren't we thinking 22 though, not 23?
Well, yeah, so it'd be 2022. Yeah, she said together in 2023, but it could be coming yearly.
Could be coming in 2022, so you're going to have to stay tuned for that, because that could be super exciting.
If we're going to talk about that.
If we're going to talk about
if it happens to come up in conversation,
if it comes up. But seriously though, I mean, since we're talking about future things, now that things are starting to get back to normal, that we have some wonderful things, exciting things planned for our Main Streeters, and we appreciate you guys so much. And I personally appreciate you sticking by us through all of this, because there's been times that it's not easy to report on things that aren't so fun to talk about. Or or trying to find ways to keep that magic going when there was just no magic to be had. And but we're getting there, and I'm really excited for all the good things that are coming that we're working on personally. So I'm just asking that you stay tuned, because I'm not good with keeping secrets, but there's so many good things coming. I am so excited.
Do you want to tease one? We haven't got to tell Becky about it yet.
Oh no!
Tease it without telling them.
How am I going to do that? I'm not good.
There'll be a big announcement coming in the next few days.
Oh, there's going to be a big announcement coming in the next few days.
You'll find out for the.
You'll find out in a couple minutes.
You kind of already know. You just don't realize you know.
Oh, okay.
So something that we have been working on for a very long time looks like it's going to be coming to fruition finally, and I am so excited.
After 4 years.
This is something that no one else has done. We are kind of taking a huge leap, but I do believe it's something that you're going to absolutely be excited for, because I'm excited for it, and I'm not going to say much more because I will just blow the whole thing. But stay tuned, because this week something really exciting is going to be announced. So, and then those of you that are asking about live on location, we are still working on all of that. We're going to get all that taken care of. So I just ask that you just keep watching our socials and our site, whether you follow us on, obviously, Facebook, Instagram.
There's YouTubers.
Huh?
There's YouTubers.
Oh, there's YouTubers too. I always forget. So,
yeah, as far as LOL, really quick, I am talking to Vice President of Disney Springs, Matt Simon, and we're waiting for him to help us out with finding a location. Some of the venues are having a hard time with capacity, and they don't want to give up a big area for us right now, which is understandable. So we're trying to work with them to figure out the best.
A lot of it is capacity issues, and if they get busy, they can only have so much. But House of Blues is one of the establishments that would like to continue that working relationship with us, and we really enjoy it at House of Blues. They've been really good to us. So stay tuned for that. And before we go, a big thank you to you, Becky, for all of the wonderful information.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've been watching little bits in the comments here, and people are loving the information.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me. I've wanted to do this for a while, and I'm so glad we were able to make it work.
Now when you're in town every time.
Now we're going to rope you in for everything.
You got it. just, I'll put it on the calendar.
And also, Becky is in TMSM Fan Nation, so if you have travel questions, she's always in there trying to help out. And again, if you go to themainstreetmouse.com, Becky's banners for MEI Mouse Band Travel are all over the site. All you have to do is click on one of those banners and it will take you to a form and fill that out right away. And one of her agents will get back to you very quickly. They are wonderful. I can't recommend them enough. And our followers who have used them thus far just rave about how great they are. So
thank you. And don't feel shy about private messaging me too on Facebook. I'm always watching it. If you want to be introduced to one of our vacation planners, I'm happy to do that for you. Match you so that so you have the best planner for the itinerary that you're looking for. But feel free to reach out, ask any questions. Happy to help.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, and thank you all for tuning in once again. And next time we will probably have lots more to talk about. But in the meantime, please watch our social media this week because you're gonna wanna watch because it's exciting. And thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe, everyone, and I will see you real soon. Have a wonderful night, a wonderful week, and thanks for everything. Bye.
See ya.